things as they are. How difficult was that for you watching Jon Jones?
Honestly, man, you know, Jon, when I watch him fight and I do my job, right? I don't have a problem. Like I really do respect him inside of the octagon. And I said this on Saturday night. I said, it's great to see him back where he belongs fighting. You know, it's also never been an issue what he's done inside of this arena. So I love that. I love watching him compete. So it wasn't hard. And I respect what he did. I respect what he did. You know what I mean? But I got a job to do. I have to be impartial. I do that.
Categoria. Eu acho que eu tinha que fazer essa revanche, mas já colocaram o Frank Edge, que é para mim o próximo passo para tomar o cinturão.
Well, in my opinion, I'm still the champ. This is just a segment. I'm gonna get my belt back. I'm gonna beat Conor. But I think I should have had a rematch, but they put Frankie now, so we're gonna fight Frankie first. But we're gonna get that belt back.
Me and Jose are going for the same thing. You know, I want the interim titles, eventually get to that real title. If Conor ever does come back down and defend it. I'm ready, man. I'm gonna be ready. It's gonna be different this time, and I'm walking home with that belt.
You heard what Jon Jones said about having an interim title. How do you feel about that interim word?
You know, it's the #1 contender belt. That's what you call it, really. But I think I have a feeling that Conor may never come back down to 45, so interim will be the real belt. Maybe we'll have to chase him out, who knows?
All personal stuff aside with DC, how would you assess his last two fights? You know, did you watch and did you study last time?
Yeah, I thought DC's last two fights were great. They're really good. Great game plan against Johnson. Nice, you know, fought a drawn out war against Gustafsson. He did great. Yeah, I don't question DC's ability to beat everyone else. You know, he just never beat. You're not beating Johnny
Hey DC, did you get to see your son's recital, and how was it?
What's that?
Did you get to see your son's recital, and how was it?
Yeah, you know, yesterday when they called me about this on Monday, I told Dave Schaller, the PR guy, I said, well, I can't go. And he was like, why can't you go? I said, well, my son has his spring performance at school today on Wednesday, and I was like, I can't miss it. So anytime you deny the UFC something, the PR department or anyone else, then Dana starts to call. So when Dana started to call, initially I was hesitant to answer because I knew what he was calling for. And when I said, well, I can't miss my son's performance, UFC, man, we work for a great company. They actually sent a camera crew out to my kid's school and they streamed it to my phone this morning. So I got to watch my boy sing, and then he had a solo performance, so it was good. And I appreciate all that the UFC do. So yeah, I got to watch it. It's great.
You know, Ronda was a very brash champion, and Holly was a very quiet champion. How would you describe Miesha as champion?
Misha's great. Misha's, Miesha does, she does just fine as champion. She's a great representative of the sport. You know, been around for a long time, been one of the best in the world for a long time. Other than Ronda, she's been the best in the world for, 6 years, 7 years. She's awesome. She's great. People love her.
DC, everybody respects your opinion on what's going on with the fighters. Can you talk about the women's divisions right now and what you think is going on?
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, you have Jacek and Bedelia fighting at the Ultimate Fighter finale. Great fight, very close fight the first time, split decision by Joanna. A lot of people thought Claudia won, so I was at Tough Talk last week and they were on. And man, the things these women say to each other, they had me glued to the TV, and you guys didn't even get to see all of it. It got pretty bad. Miesha and the change in the division, it's awesome. You know, a lot of times when you have a champion that's as dominant as Ronda, you don't know what to expect in the fight. You're like, how is she gonna win this time? Well, Holly went out and showed that nothing's guaranteed. John, take note. Nothing's guaranteed, and also Miesha going out and beating Holly, and she was behind. She never gave up on herself. If you've watched Miesha fight over her career, you know that there's never a time that she gives up. So it's a very exciting time for the division. It's great.
John, pending all goes well and July 9th you get past Daniel Cormier, what's your plan after that? Are you going to go to heavyweight anytime soon?
Yeah, I would love to beat up on DC and then face Anthony Johnson at Madison Square Garden.
Do you think that will make DC change up his style to throw you off?
What do you mean?
So, you've been studying him.
Ma'am, listen, ma'am, I'm not changing anything. I'm going right at his ass. I'm not changing nothing. I will tell him right now, last time I didn't take John down as many times as I wanted to. This time, we're gonna say fight, I'm going right over there to take him down. You guys may boo. I'm gonna hold his ass down for 25 minutes. I'm gonna take him down, hold him down for 25 minutes.
Hey, DC's been lying to you guys for a long time, man.
I'm lying.
Hey, listen.
I'm lying.
DC told you guys, and I quote, "I'll take John Jones down 10 times out of 10 times."
I actually said 100. I said 100.
Right?
Don't vote wrong.
So far, we're 5-0.
You didn't take me down 5 times.
I've taken you down 5
You
times.
took me down 3 times.
I'll take it. Listen, last time I foot swept you, held my hand on your head like you're my bitch.
Hey, what about my Hey, John, that is your highlight. I slipped under the rock.
Hey.
I am an Olympian.
Come on.
I'm supposed to be an Olympian. Go look in the record books, buddy. I am an
You
Olympian.
suck, bro.
You suck.
You suck. Hey, listen.
John, put up John.
Hey, you called me a bum. I beat you 4 rounds to 1. It wasn't even close. Girl, you're not even my toughest opponent. Like, you're
Hey, John, guess what, John? Guess what?
You're chump change.
I got people over here going, it won't happen again.
You're chump change.
It won't happen again.
You're chump change.
Hey, guess what, John?
You're chump change.
John,
You're chump
Open
change.
St. Preux doesn't go 2 rounds with me.
Hey, you're
You
chump
went out there and
change.
fought
It's
5
easy to
rounds.
say
You're a
that. It's
bum.
easy to say that. I mean, I'm the bum that took your undefeated record,
Yes,
bro.
you did. And you made me cry too, remember?
And I made you
I
cry.
can't even get through practice without crying. You can't do anything. I cry in practice,
you
son.
cry.
I cry in practice.
Hey, where's Cable Velasquez? This dude's about to cry again.
Hey, I cry.
Man,
Hey,
DC
that's
needs a
enough.
hug.
Stop taking information, young man.
Go ahead, sir.
Another great performance by Demetrius Johnson. He also faced an Olympic wrestler. Can you give us your assessment of Demetrius' fight and how you feel about DC as wrestlers?
You know, the reason why I believe Demetrius beat Henry so well is because Cejudo so well, yeah. It's because it's the same situation with me and DC. I'm a complete martial artist versus a wrestler. You know what I mean? So, DC's a wrestler who's learning how to punch. I'm a complete martial artist. Same thing with Demetrius Johnson. Complete martial artist versus a wrestler who learned how to punch. This isn't a wrestling match.
Yeah, well, honestly, the last guy I fought, nobody's heard from him before, and I didn't take him down. Like, where's he at? Where's the last guy I fought? Has he retired? Where's Gustafsson? I didn't take him down the whole time. The moment Gustafsson walked out of the octagon, he was calling for a rematch. He's never asked to fight me again. When I get my hands on this guy, you'll see it.
How many times did Gustafsson take you down in kickboxing?
Hey, guess what? Gustafsson can take me down. You can take me down. Hey, takedowns to me, honestly, I realized after you took me down, I was like, you know, they don't matter. They don't really do anything when they take me down. I go for it. I pressure you guys. And this time,
You pressured me and got that ass whooped.
no, actually, John, you didn't do anything. I walked out of there. Hey,
I made you cry.
Alexander Gustafsson beat me up. Hey, Gustafsson beat me up much worse than you did.
I had you crying.
Question for Frankie. How do you respond to having this talk about Olympic wrestling versus MMA?
They're different sports, I think. Setups are different, timing's all different. Some wrestlers come into MMA and kill it. Some have a problem making that transition. I think it's case by case.
And I would just say the same question for Misha, since you're also a pretty good wrestler.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this is
Misha, you're beautiful!
Thank you, guys. To answer the question, the stance is one of the biggest things that I think is really different, and you get to punch people, so that's an entirely different setup. You got people real low to the ground wrestling, you got people standing tall in MMA, and you can use striking as a setup, so it does translate, honestly, completely different, but it helps to have wrestled.
We love you! Yeah!
José Aldo, o mês passado você lutou com o Frank Edgar e foi 5 rounds. O que você acha que a luta vai passar essa vez? Porque você perdeu pro Conor McGregor muito rápido e ele tá muito fome. O que você acha que a luta vai começar essa vez?
The last time you fought Frankie, the fight went off in 5 rounds, and you lost to Conor pretty quickly. So what do you think is going to happen now? Because he's very hungry and he wants to win.
Então, acho que aconteceu com minha última luta, isso acontece sem 100 anos. Isso para esse cometa Halle passar de novo, muito difícil. E você vê, eu acho que a luta é uma nova luta, acho que aquela luta que ficou para trás já. A gente vai escrever uma nova história. Tanto eu quanto ele, a gente tá faminto querendo esse cinturão, então pode ter certeza que o show não se arrepender, que vai ser a melhor luta da noite.
That was a rare occurrence. It's like Comet Halle passing. It only happens once every 100 years. You guys can rest assured I'm very hungry, just like Frankie is. We're going to give you guys the best fight of that night.
The last fight you said that you showed only 20% of what you can. What do we have to expect for the next fight?
Yeah, so in my last fight, you know,
I'm a big fan of you.
Really? Say it again?
I'm a big fan of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Man, where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Russia, nice. Yes. So in my last fight, you know, I had a lot of stuff stacked up against me, man. You know, a lot of you guys don't really realize what's been going on in my personal life. You know, my mom is in a real bad position. She's really losing a fight to diabetes right now. She got her leg cut off the same week of my fight. So that really messed with me a lot. You know, I was in jail the same month of my fight. Just going through a lot of stuff, man. I hadn't fought in over 15 months. And, you know, everybody's talking about my performance being so bad. I got punched twice. I won by unanimous decision. So it's like, you know, if that's a bad performance, then look at the level that, you know, people expect from me. It's really not a bad problem to have. You know what I mean? So, you know, I went out there, I didn't feel comfortable in the octagon, and I still absolutely dominated that fight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, you know, I believe everything happens for a reason. You know, I got that ring rust off of me, and I got right back to the strategy and the game plan that I originally had. I believe I'm going to annihilate DC. So pretty much every opponent. Alexander Gustafsson is the only person that had a competitive fight with me. So when I sit here and tell you I'm going to annihilate DC, you know, the people who don't believe me, just wait and see. You know what I mean? So yeah, expect to see a hell of a lot more of me in this next fight. You know, I have a strong strategy for DC. I listened to him commentate my fight, and I got to hear all the things he thinks he knows about me. I'm just like, you guys will see. Man new, absolutely.
Frankie, you're one of the toughest 145-pounders in the history of the 45-pound division. You have some of the best wrestling as well as some of the best submission. Your black belt Renzo Gracie. Do you feel like Conor McGregor is running from you, considering you have the worst style for him?
100%. I mean, we're conveniently not fighting every time out. Every time it comes up, we conveniently not fight. I don't know if he's scared of me, but he may be scared of the result. And I think we're all fighters, we're not scared of anybody, but I think he's scared of what could happen. I think at 170, he doesn't have as much to lose, you know? He loses there, he's still going down to 55, still going down to 45. I think he knew it was at risk of possibly losing the belt at 45 to me.
100%. You took a lot of damage in your last fight from Gustafsson, and you hurt your leg or whatnot. Do you think that's going to play a role in your next loss against John?
Nicely done. Nicely done, my man.
If so, explain in detail.
So the last fight actually did more good than bad. You know, I really needed to experience that. I never experienced it. You know, even in the fight that I lost, I never got cut up and beat up like that and felt the exhaustion. I thought when John and I was fighting, I got very tired from the body damage that he gave me. But I didn't realize it until I was getting just taken down and kneed by Alexander and elbowed and everything cut up by Alexander, that there was a whole different level of tiredness. So I think it actually benefited me more to learn. The leg injury, that was something very freak, you know what I mean? That could be just that I'm getting old. It's not supposed to happen. I'm 37 now, so maybe that's just things that come with age, but I'm fine, man. Trust me, like there's no hesitancy. I'd fight this guy every day of the week if they gave me the opportunity. It's not an issue.
Now that Conor's out, are you finding a fighter for Nate Diaz, or
he's out as well.
Yeah, so I've been on the road all this week so far, but yeah, we're going to offer him some fights and see what he wants to do. I mean, it sounded like he wants Conor and only Conor at the press conference, but we gave him the opportunity to come. You know, he was there, he flew in, gave him the opportunity to come, and I didn't want to, you know, rip him off of the opportunity to fight 200 if that's what he wanted. So we'll see what happens.
Another question for John Jones. How was your performance in your last fight? Because I wasn't really impressed. I mean, I'm not saying anything. You know, your last fight with DC, you did better. Watching your fight recently, you were slower.
Somebody boo that man.
Do you think you preventing Conor from fighting at 200, in your honest opinion, was a ploy to save his brand because he was going to get beat again?
I didn't hear. Was it what?
Was a ploy to save Conor's brand because he was going to get beat again? With all due respect, like I said before.
Well, first of all, I didn't prevent Conor from fighting in UFC 200. I did not. Everybody, if you looked at the press conference, Joanna Jędrzejczyk flew in from Poland. Claudia came in from Brazil. He flew in from Brazil, and then came here. I mean, people came in from all over the world. Frankie's just getting home and hasn't seen his family. This is what we do. This is how it works. I didn't prevent him from fighting in UFC 200. He knew what the deal was. I told him what the deal was, and he opted to do that. And no, I'm not. Listen, I've said it a million times. Conor asked to fight Nate Diaz. Conor wants to fight Nate Diaz. Conor and I know, you know, if we're in Brazil, you know, we got Brazil guys. If we're in New York, we got New York guys. Conor doesn't back down from fights, man. Conor, one of the things that's made Conor popular and as big as he is this dude wants to fight. This guy comes to fight, and you know, he comes out guns a-blazing. Conor is fun. Conor is a stud. Conor is, you know, I have a lot of respect for Conor. Conor and I just had, you know, you have to show up and do the PR. You have to do it, you know. And I will, and you know, that wasn't a setup today when he said, you know, he wanted to see his kids' performance, and believe me, I understand that. I have kids too, and I respect that. So we streamed it live to him so he could watch his kid perform. I'll do, you know, there were things that Conor needed. I was willing to make sure that Conor would have the things that he needed when he landed in Las Vegas, when he came to New York, or wherever else we went. You know, we don't just say, this isn't just, hey, you have to do this. I will bend and I will do things to make it, you know, to make it work for these guys and girls. And Conor didn't do it. That's the truth, the whole truth. That's the way it is.
Question for Frankie. Frankie, I know you've lost a couple really close decisions in your career. Does that change the way you're going to approach this fight, like trying to go for the finish?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been trying to get the finish more and more. You know, it's just obviously not that easy, but fighting the top caliber guys like I do. But I stopped at 3 of the last 5, and I mean, that's the plan. I want to go in there and stop Aldo and not go to the judges this time.
What's going on, John? Don't worry, I'm not a hater like these guys over here. Since your last fight, how do you feel coming in? You know, you think you got rid of the cage rust?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, I'm telling you, I'm really grateful for that last fight. You know, after the fight, I sat there in the octagon and I was so critical of my performance. Then I went home and watched it, and I realized really the guy punched me twice in 25 minutes. That was it. Never, you know, he never landed anything. He never hurt me. 2 punches in 25 minutes, and I'm sitting here.
He only had 10
I have
days
such
to
a high expectation of myself. I'm beating myself up over a fight where I clearly, you know, dominated the fight. So, so I feel really good about the fight. I feel as if, you know, some fights, you know, you want to be really, really impressive, and you really want to do these, you know, awesome moves for the fans. But that fight was a smart fight. I fought really smart. I stayed out of this. Really smart. And now I'm here today with no injuries, getting ready to turn around and fight for you guys at UFC 200. So that was a win in every way. I'm really looking forward to different levels to being a high-level fighter. You know, sometimes the mature move. You know, the fans were going in the arena wanting to see a knockout. You know, but I think the mature move, I fought real smooth. You know, especially 15 months off. You know, I got punched only twice. So I mean, I think that was an extraordinary performance when I look back on it. You guys will see the real Ken Whoop-ass when I do that.
You should. So, let me tell you what. It's always fun in New York, man. We appreciate you guys. I know it's the middle of the week. You all came out here this afternoon. Thank you very much.